Next, we'll go over some job habits that can shorten your career and your life. We'll talk about stage 4 on the path to meaningful work. Get started, and we'll take your calls and chats. It starts now. I am coming to you live from Ramsey Studios in Nashville, and you are joining a conversation about who you are, what you were created to do, where you want to do it, and how you can get there. In other words, it's all about your purpose. You were created to contribute to this world. It's not just we're walking along through this life just trying to gather as much stuff for us. No. Now, I'm not anti-stuff. But I'm anti-stuff if that becomes what we worship and it becomes our meaning, status, and stuff, as opposed to significance. We're all about significance here on the Ken Coleman Show because we believe you were created to fill a unique role. You were needed. You must do it. Somebody, a lot of somebodies, need you to show up and be the best version of you. And so that is our aim, to help you get clear so you can get qualified, to help you get connected so you can get started, to help you get promoted so you can get the dream job, to give yourself away. Those are the 7 stages. Get clear, get qualified, get connected, get started, get promoted, get the dream job, give yourself away. And today, as we walk through the 7 stages, one a day, we started this week. If you've missed it, you can go back. That's the good news. And you can see yesterday's show and then the day before and the day before. Today, we're going to talk about the get started stage. And that's coming up a little bit later. 844-747-2577. 844-747-2577. 2 ways to engage directly with me. Number 1, obviously the phone call. Phone lines are open. Madison's standing by. She'll take care of you. Get you ready. We know you get nervous. It's okay. I'm going to take good care of you. It's about you. You're the only person I'm talking to in the world when you're on the phone. And I'm focused to help you. The second way to do it is you can send a chat question in. And we try to take as many of those as we can, usually 2 to 3, depending on how long the calls go or how I decide to pontificate on any given day. And that's in the window right there next to the video window. So send your chats. By the way, if you're watching the show and you enjoy it, give us a thumbs up right down below me. Subscribe while you're down there and share. The first 2 clicks are super fast. And if this show's helping you and you think it can help somebody else, share it. Thank you so much. All right, job habits that shorten your career and life. Oh my goodness. I saw this from Forbes and I went, this is a little bit daunting because this is going to hit a lot of you because a lot of these things I've done and every once in a while I get into these bad habits. And these have negative and long-term repercussions. So I'm going to blast through these because it's straightforward. There's some data on these. But as I'm going through this, ask yourself, am I stuck in these really detrimental habits? The first one, being a desk potato. I love that. Most Americans spend an average of 10 hours a day in the car. And one of the biggest factors that contribute to premature death, we're seeing study after study after study reveal, it's sitting too much. Sitting too much. Now they got stand-up desk, but the idea of getting up and down and moving. One of the techniques that I've adopted to help not sit too much, Joe, is the amount of water I drink. Well, you drink a lot of water, guess what? You got some built-in trips to the boys' room or the ladies' room. You know what I'm saying? That's a good way to do that. Okay. The second thing is have a pessimistic outlook. Statistics show that on average, pessimists live 7.5 years less than optimists. Now, I know there's some people right now that are watching this and listening to this, and they're going, well, I don't really want to live that long anyway, man. Life's not... Yeah. So the pessimist is going, who cares? 7 more years? I don't want that. I kid. Not getting enough sleep. A whopping 52% of Americans say work stress interferes with their sleep. Long-term sleep studies show that people who sleep less than 6 hours a night have a decline in brain function equivalent to aging 4 to 7 years. I've also seen sleep studies that say that if you're sleeping less than 6 hours a night, they equate it to the amount of alcohol you drink. You're essentially operating to the point that if your blood alcohol level had your brain operating the way that your brain is operating on less sleep, you'd get arrested. Pay attention to how you sleep and how long. How about the gulp and go? Boy, this is the one that hit me the most. I am really, really susceptible to this bad habit. An estimated 75% of people practice mindless eating because work takes precedence over the well-being. So it's kind of like, I got so much going on, I'm getting a lot done, I'm just going to grab a bag of chips here, I'm going to grab a whatever here, and it's the gulp and go. I love that. How about the rise and grind? So many people now are proud of how many hours they work. And the reality is that the 12, 14, 16-hour days doesn't just steal your soul, it affects your health. It can even lead to death, known as karoshi in Japan, where 10,000 workers a year keel over at their desks from stroke or heart attack after putting in 60 to 70-hour work weeks. Yeah, folks, you were made to work. I agree with that, but not that much. So there are some things to think through that are bad habits that can really affect your life and your career. 844-747-2577. 844-747-2577. Let's go to Eric, who joins us in Savannah, Georgia. Eric, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Good afternoon, Kim. How are you? Ken, how are you?
I am living the dream, Eric. How can I help today?
So, I'm currently working in my dream job with my dream company, but not in the city, not in my dream city. I'm scared to leave. Wanted to get your thoughts.
What are you scared of specifically?
Leaving, potentially having to leave the company and the job.
No, it's deeper than that. That's the action. Leaving the company and the job because you're not in the location you want to be in. You said it was the dream job, not the dream location. Did I hear that correctly?
Right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So when you say to me, Ken, I'm afraid of leaving the job, no, that's the action that you would take. You're afraid of the result. What's the result you're afraid of?
I guess life could change.
Okay, keep going. It's like this is a process.
Changing drastically from what my dream job and company has, given to me thus far.
Okay. So what does that look like? Less money?
Potentially, yes. Less money, less freedom. I work in a field-based role, so, pretty autonomous. Speak to my manager once a month and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that's the only job like that in the country that offers?
No, sir.
Yeah. Do you think it's possible that you can find a job very similar to that? Those, I guess we're going to call those perks, I guess. Is there work like that where you want to move?
Yes, I believe so. I'm in the medical industry, so I've looked at competitors and things like that, but it also seems that my current employer boasts many accolades for many years of great places to work. And, when I look at, the Indeed or Glassdoor websites, the ratings for the other companies, approvals of CEOs, seems to be much lower than the one that I'm currently with now.
Got it. Well, the good news is you're in your dream job, yes?
Yes, sir.
So we can find similar work. Are the circumstances going to be exactly the same? When you look at all these ratings and things like that, maybe, maybe not. I guess this gets down to what really matters most to you. Why do you want to move locations? What's so special about this city you want to move to?
Closer to family, moved to where I'm currently at now, away from family. I was in a long-distance relationship. My girlfriend at the time, she relocated with me to the Savannah area. We were able to get married. Very thankful for that, forever thankful for that. But she lives close to where I'm from as well.
Where?
So we're both wanting to get Tennessee, East Tennessee.
So she's there now?
No, sir. No, sir. She's in Savannah with me. Her family's from the same hometown as me.
Okay. Well, so you don't have a remote opportunity here, correct?
Current, not with my company right now, correct?
Yeah, so here's the deal, man. I totally see where this is, and it makes sense. I just think that you have to say, is the pull to get back to East Tennessee, is it something that we've got to move on right now? Or what factors can we change that may not exist now to where eventually, and I'm just saying 2-3 years from now, we get back there? Or is it something where both of you are going, you know what, this is a risk that we should take because you're afraid that you're going to walk out of your dream job and not find something that's very similar? And I want to encourage you that you may not have all the same environmental things that your current company gives you, but the work itself, you can find jobs that allow you to fill that role that you're in. And so I'm not worried about that. I also think that if you look smart enough and long enough and you're patient enough and not let East Tennessee drive you into a dumb decision, dumb being stepping out of a really great situation into a mediocre situation just to get us back to East Tennessee, then I think you can find something. And I think that becomes your goal. Hey, we're not going to East Tennessee until I replace my job that allows me to be in the role I was created to be in, which is what makes it the dream job anyway. It's really the dream job because you are really good at what you do. Yes?
Yes.
You really love the work itself, don't you?
Yes, sir.
And you connect to the result. It's missional to you.
Correct. Yeah, I love, working with my customers and developing the relationships and everything like that. Yeah.
So that's why you listen to the program. For some reason, you have lots of reasons you listen to the program, but you agree, you understand that the reason we look to what we do best and what we love to do most and the results that matter most is so that we figure out the role we're supposed to fill. A role is not job title. Role is, this is what I'm doing in the workplace. And then there are multiple jobs that will allow us to fill the role, the contribution. And that's when you're in your sweet spot. Okay? Right. So I would tell you that that's all you have to focus on is patience. And that will allow you to find something that you go, okay, we found it. Now we can go to East Tennessee. Now listen, if you want to play the odds and go, well, we're going to go to East Tennessee and just go wherever we can go to just kind of gets us close to what we were making or whatever, and we feel so good that we're back close to our family that I'll put up with the frustration of trying to find the right thing once I get there, great. I don't have a problem with it. I'm just not wired that way. But I don't think that it's wrong. I just am never a fan of making a family decision that affects my long-term place in this world. So you've identified the fear. We had you specifically put it out there. I hope we have made the fear look silly. It's silly to think that you can't find another dream job like what you're doing now in other places. I guess it's possible that companies don't exist in East Tennessee to do what you want to do, but I think you've already figured out that they do, right?
Yes, sir.
Then get after that. And then... go ahead.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I actually want to know what you think.
Hearing you talk it out and actually hearing it, it makes me start thinking that it's impatience that's driving my fear.
Yeah.
It's me, when I try to look in the future, if I don't see that exact route to where I want to be doing what I want to do with the company that I'm doing, I think that's when I get scared. Instead of, taking a step back and, trying to be more logical and patient about the process.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. And I'm so glad we've talked about it because now you see how fear is a liar. You've heard me say that on the show before, but now you see it, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Your fear's lying to you. And so if you allow fear to stay in your head and you're going to believe that lie, eventually that lie said long enough becomes truth. And so that's the danger of allowing fear to rattle in there. I appreciate you calling in because this is big, man. Listen, I'm excited. I do believe your future is in East Tennessee, and I think you can get it there. Be patient enough so that's the right move. Then you're super happy on all fronts. And that's just a function of gutting it out long enough to find it. You're going to get there, Eric. I promise. 844-747-2577 is the number to jump in on the conversation. Is fear or doubt or pride holding you back? Ooh, we're going to talk about those three enemies a little bit later in the program. Hint, hint. They're very vital in stage 4, which is get started. All right, let's go to, oh my gosh. Joe, I believe this might be the third or fourth time we've had a caller from my favorite broadcasting city in the world, and I've never been there. But as a professional broadcaster, everybody will understand why this is my favorite city when we get a caller. Curtis is on the line from Walla Walla, Washington. Curtis, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. How are you?
Well, I got to be honest. You made my day because you got me a chance to say Walla Walla twice on the show, and it's always fun for me. How you doing today, man? How can I help?
I'm good. Hey, I got approached by a good friend of mine that works at a local company. They're a world-renowned, state-of-the-art company. They do a lot of innovative stuff with irrigation systems and parts and stuff. The company has great pay, great benefits. I know a lot of people that work there. They have like a 17-year turnover rate.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty outstanding, and it's like one of those you just like. How do you get to be a part of it?
Yeah.
Well, my current question for you is, I currently work for a retail irrigation company here locally as well, and I wasn't looking for this job. It just kind of got brought up to my attention, and I'd really like to use my current boss, who's the owner of the company, as a reference, but I don't really know how to approach him in a way that doesn't sound like I'm trying to leave him, or that I was looking for a different position. This would be a step up to the sales position. I'd go from like a retail guy that deals with the groundwork, customers, growers. And right now I do design, installs, and kind of project manager for anything that I sell. Yeah. But the next step would be just kind of like a product rep. So I'd be selling, sprinklers and valves and everything that were built from this particular company. So that's my question, is trying to, first of all, I've kind of sat down and did my passions and my talents. And then also, how do I approach this so that I don't end up being in a position where now I'm, looked upon a little different because I'm trying to get a better opportunity or better pay or something like that.
Stop right there. Okay. Because this is at the crux of your question. What would you say if I called you up, Curtis, called you tomorrow, and I said, hey, Curtis, and let's just pretend I'm one of your friends. I'm not Ken Coleman. I'm just one of your friends. I say, hey, Curtis, listen, man, I just got an opportunity out of nowhere. A friend of mine works at a killer company, and they got a position that I would absolutely love to have. They've got a great company, great future around this thing. And because my friend works there, I feel like I got a really good shot at getting this thing. But the problem is I've got a pretty good relationship with my current boss and the owner of the company. And gosh, walking into their office and telling them I'm leaving, what if they're not happy about the fact that I'm taking a great opportunity for me? What would you say?
I would say that it'd be the best thing for somebody to do is to try to take that opportunity.
Yeah, you'd go, Ken, it's a great deal for you. Mm-hmm. What are you worried about? Wouldn't you say that? You'd go, well, are you going to be a jerk when you leave? I'd go, no, I'm not going to be a jerk. I'm going to thank them, and I'm going to say, hey, I didn't even look for this. This literally came to me, and it's a great opportunity. I've got to take it. And then if they were a jerk to me, let's say I call you a week later. Let's keep playing this out. Mm-hmm. And I go, hey, Curtis, you're not going to believe this. I went in, told him, great opportunity. I didn't look for it. And I said, this is huge for me in my professional and personal and financial growth. And I thanked them for everything they'd done for me. And I said, I wasn't looking for this, but I've got to do this. And would you believe that they were like, I can't believe you're doing this. You're not a loyal person. You owe us. And I'm telling you this. What would you say to me about that response?
I'd probably say that they're probably not looking to better their employees at that point.
Yeah, and not to mention, you probably say, those aren't good people. What's that all about? All right, you see what I just did?
Yep.
You know, at some point I can tell you, but I need you to put yourself in somebody else in your own shoes, right? And so here's the deal, bro. If they offer this to you, what's your answer going to be?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the only thing you're worried about is going in and telling them you're leaving. I don't think you need this guy's reference, because the first part of your question was, how do I go in and get my current boss's reference without him knowing I'm trying to leave him? And there's no way to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of sly anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need it. I don't think you need the reference. Now, this company may call your current employer anyway and ask what kind of employee you are, but that's kind of a normal thing. But I think you got this thing. At least you've got a good shot at it. From what you've told me, because your friend works there, he's highly recommending you. You've got all the experience. This is a win for you financially right out of the gate, it sounds like. This is a no-brainer.
Yep.
And you're a good dude.
Yep.
And a person who calls with this concern, and we get these a lot, is a person who's such a person of gold. You just got a great heart, and you're worried about something you don't need to be worried about. It's a good chance that you're such a good person that they're going to be really happy for you. Is that fair?
Yep.
But if they're not happy for you, is that a you problem or a them problem?
Them.
Yeah, so don't sweat it, my man. Congratulations. Jump on this.
Perfect.
Have you officially applied?
I have not. That's what my thought was to get somebody else's opinion, whether I use them as a reference or, like, I know somebody that's worked there for probably 30 years.
Yeah, get their reference.
I actually
get their reference.
I went to your website because I've listened to you before, and I got people that are all the way from the bottom to the top.
That's awesome.
In that company, the new company.
That's awesome.
That are willing and wanting to give me a reference.
Yeah,
so,
dude, load them up. Load them up. Squeeze as many in there as you can, and then go, oh, by the way, I got an extra page of people who work for you, who think, you know what I'm saying? You got this. I want you to apply. And here's the deal. If you don't get it, then your boss is none the wiser, and you're still in a really good situation. But I think you're going to get this, and you don't need to think twice about it. When you go in to tell them that you're leaving, just be a world-class dude that I think you already are. And just gush with gratitude and leave well. Okay. Leave well. Make sure that, you go the extra mile. Don't check out your final 2 weeks. Really do as much as you can to leave good fingerprints and footprints behind. And I think that you're going to be fine, man. That's really exciting. Curtis from Walla Walla, Washington. There it is. I got 3 mentions in one show. That's always good when you get a chance to do that. 844-747-2577. Coming up, we're going to talk about stage 4. We're going to teach just a little bit on stage 4 in my 7 stages to meaningful work. Stage 4 is get started. Seems pretty simple. It's not. This is where most people who never pursue their purpose, this is where they get stuck in this stage. So we're going to walk through it and encourage you and equip you with what you need to do in stage 4 to be able to step into stage 5, which is get promoted, which is always fun. And we just took a phone call from Curtis. And here's what's fun. When you live on purpose and you do a great job, opportunities like what Curtis just called in with happen. He wasn't even looking, and an opportunity came to him. Oh, that is beautimous. Beautimous. By the way, that word is not in the dictionary. It should be. Maybe we could get a campaign started for that. But maybe we have more important things to do. Yeah, I think we do. Okay, good. All right, let's go to the chat room. Brooke writes in, "Hey, Ken, I love my job, but because of company difficulties, I can't be paid what they agreed upon for my salary." So it sounds like she's had a pay cut proposed. Should I quit? Boy, Brooke, if you're watching right now, this is a phone call I want you to call in for. I'll jump right into my teaching here shortly, and I'll get you in before the show's over. Madison, be on the lookout for Brooke if she wants to call. I need to know more on this. This is very nuanced, but I'm gonna take a stab to answer this. All right, if you're not comfortable calling in. You love your job. Company's going through tough times. Let's presume it's because of COVID. It may not be. But you love your job. And if they're having to make some belt tightening, if they've done a good job of communicating that, this is what I don't know. But if they've done a good job of communicating this, it's temporary. Here's why we're doing it. We're asking you to sacrifice to help get us through the storm. And we're going to come out of this. And that's not going to put you in a financial hardship place. I might give it a little bit more time and would not quit now. Now, at the end of the day, you're going to have to make decisions that are best for you, okay? So that'd be one option. Another option is you look at it and you go, you know what? I can't keep this up. This is too big of a sacrifice. I've got to come up with some options. And so I'm either going to take on a second job to help make up the difference, or I'm going to look for something else that in a healthier financial situation where they can pay me what I need to be paid. But I would not quit until you got the other job locked down. And then you just walk from one dock, if you will, to the other dock, or whatever the analogy is. Okay, so that's the situation. I'd love to know more, but I feel that that's what you need to be looking at, because you might not find something you love as much right away. And so if it's a longer journey to something you really love anyway, and sometimes it is, you have to weigh the costs of, well, I'm going to ride the storm out knowing that I'm going to get back up on, solid ground soon. Or I'm going to have to realize that if I start over, there's stuff that comes with that. So that's the situation. But I'm never a fan, folks, of you quitting without salary, unless you've got the financial plan and wherewithal in the bank to be able to do it. All right. Sally B says, Ken, how do I determine a healthy work hour limit? Pretty simple. What is healthy for you? How many hours? Can you do 10? What's that look like? What is sacrificed in order for you to work 10 hours versus 8? Plug the number in. If it's 12, can you do that? I don't think you can, or you wouldn't be sending me the question unless you're working some absurd amount of hours, which should be obvious to you. So how do you determine a healthy amount of hours? Well, okay, I would look at every asset of your, facet of your life. All right, so let's look at that. For me, I'm looking at spiritual, emotional, physical, and relational. So I'm looking at my family and all things. And so I go, well, where does it go from healthy or manageable, right? It's not bad. I got this, to, this is making me suffer, if you will, or sacrifice in some of these other areas that I'm not okay with that sacrifice. Because the more you work, something else is being sacrificed. That's what it comes down to. Are you willing to sacrifice the physical? Not a good idea long term. I think we'd all agree there. Are you willing to sacrifice the emotional? That's not a good idea long term either. Are you willing to sacrifice the relational? Not a good idea long term. So it's pretty simple. You have X amount of hours in a day. If you're going to get 8 hours a day to sleep, and I would say that's the minimum. The experts say that. I'm just passing that along. So I got 8 hours. So we start with sleep. I got 8 hours there. Then we got work. So let's say we're going to do an 8 hour day. Boom. Now there's 16. We got 8 hours left to budget. How am I spending those 8 hours? It's a pretty simple process. And when you write that out, you go, okay, if I'm working 10 hours a day, I'm in a situation where I'm not healthy. You determine that, not me. And I think that's how I would go about it. 844-747-2577. 844-747-2577. Brooke's on the line. That's great. We're going to get to Brooke. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Brooke, I got to tell you what. Let's go to Brooke, and then I'm going to teach on Get Started because this is great. It's always fascinating when I answer it in the chat, and I feel like I need to talk to them more, but I take a stab just in case they won't call. It's like testing my own ability to help you folks. This will be good. I don't mind getting better. Brooke is on line 2 in Johnson City, Tennessee. Brooke, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hello, Ken. How are you?
Well, I'm living the dream. So now I attempted to answer this without some details. How close am I?
Yeah. You are pretty close. There is one detail. My employer is actually my dad.
Oh.
So we agreed on a salary. I've worked for him for 7 years.
Oh.
In the past 3 years, the business has struggled a little, and he has not been able to pay that full salary. So he owes me about $10,000 in past salary, and I love the job. I want to help him, but I also want to be compensated for my hard work, and I feel like I do a really good job and deserve to be appreciated.
Yeah, of course you do. Whether it's dad or anybody else, the fact of the matter is there was an agreed upon salary, and so this is over a 3-year period?
Yeah.
Okay. And you've talked to him about this and said, hey, Dad, at what point are you going to make me right? What does he say?
Yeah, he's fully aware. I think he's truly unable to pay what you had agreed upon. And so he means well. He wants to make right on it. I'm unable to.
Okay. What do you want to do with your life? Did you always want to be a part of the family business and eventually be an owner? Where does that all fall?
Yes, I think that would be a dream. I love the work. I actually play the role as a front desk manager, and it's a lot of people communicating and working out schedules, and I love the people side of things. There's like an aspect of counseling to it that I kind of like. Yeah. The face-to-face interactions.
So you are, is it written in paper? I mean, or is this just conversation that you are going to be an owner one day? Is it part owner? Is there another sibling? What's the future look like there?
No, it's really just me. I'm the oldest girl in our family, and I over the past 3 years, I've taken over a lot of my dad's work at the business. And so I think slowly I'm moving, towards that. I don't know if nothing's official. He hasn't had that conversation with me, but more and more I'm taking over his role and gladly too. Yeah.
Well, see, so this is I'm so glad you called because this is this is a very different thing. I can't answer this, and the chat didn't know any of this. Now, here's the deal. You need to have the conversation with Dad soon about ownership. Because you're familiar enough with the books that you fully acknowledge your dad, the money's not there, the revenue's not there to pay you what he would prefer to pay you and what he said he would pay you. You agree with this?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a whole different ballgame. You're the future owner, kiddo, right?
Yeah.
So this is a you issue, not just a you and dad issue.
Yes.
So and just for fun, what would have to happen, and this is a long answer, I'm not going to put you on the spot to answer it, but give me the short answer. What needs to happen for the company to make the revenue necessary or have the revenue necessary to pay you what you want to be paid?
Yeah, I think I would have to take over more responsibilities in order to get all of that organized. I think there's a sense of we're not great at advertising, some of those things just to get more people in the building and making more revenue. But there's also some things that that my dad still manages and maybe isn't his. So I really love that organization and management factor. Right. Maybe I would even take her more.
Yeah, let me ask you this. Could you cut costs to where it saves the company money, and then in those savings, it allows you to realize the income that you're not realizing?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, because it's not that much. 10 grand is the deficit on what the salary was designed to be, and over 3 years. So you're about 3 grand short each year. 3 grand and some
Correct.
change. Okay, so that's not that much. So I want to give you some hope that that's a win for you psychologically and emotionally if you can get that paid to you. So you're the oldest daughter. We're calling it the assumed owner, but that's why I want the conversation with Dad to not be about the 10 grand he owes you. But hey, Dad, I want to take this over, and I feel like this is happening. Can we sit down, and we don't have to start by drawing it up on paper, but can we have a conversation about the future and what that looks like, and specifically what the future looks like? Okay.
Absolutely.
And then once you guys figure that out, that's the conversation that needs to be happening anyway. And if out of that conversation, you go, Dad, are you okay if I take over these responsibilities from you? Because A, at some point I'm going to have to anyway. B, I'm more naturally the organized process person. And I think I can help tighten the ship a little bit, which would allow us to pay me the back pay. And it's going to be better for the company anyway. I think that's how we get there. So in this situation, no, I don't want you to leave the family business that you eventually want to run over $3,000 a year. I think that's such an easy fix.
Okay, you're absolutely right.
Make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, Brooke, you're awesome. That's great.
Thanks,
Listen,
kid.
yeah, you bet. Thanks for watching the show. Spread the word. That's really fun. 844-747-2577. All right, we're going to teach just briefly. I'm going to do a short version of this, and this is designed just to help you understand why we've got 7 stages, how they work together. It is a progression from stage 1 to stage 7, and you get to the point where you are really at the same time in stage 6, where you're in the dream job and you're giving yourself away. It's an actualization of what does it mean to be in the dream job. It means you're working like nobody else. You love getting up on Mondays, and Friday you go, well, what a good week, even if it was hard. Because this work, I'm really good at the work. I love the work itself, and the work is producing results that fill my heart. And now I'm at the level that I wanted to be at, and now it's about growing and truly giving away. Okay? So, get started. This is the stage. Now, stage 1 is get clear, so really clear on what our unique role is. This is the role I want to play in the workplace. It's very simple, all right? And when you figure out that role, you see in the marketplace the jobs that you can get and the career paths that will allow you to fill that role and eventually get you the dream job. So in Get Clear, you're figuring out who you are and what the dream job is and why, all right? Now, we look and see, what's the pathway, or what are the multiple pathways, and which is the best pathway? And now, what do I need to do to get qualified? The ticket to the dance, right? The ticket for the journey. If it's a train ride or a boat ride or a plane ride, it's the ticket. And that's get qualified, stage 2. Stage 3 is get connected. You can be in both stage 2 and 3 at the same time. While you're getting qualified, we're making connections. And we never truly get out of the activity that stage 3 is defined by, which is getting connected. We're always getting connected, always, because getting connected is the currency for progress, all right? That leads you, though, as you're getting connected, here's what happens. Opportunities come your way, like Curtis, our caller earlier, right? Guy's living in a community, he's doing great work. He's got all these friends that work at this incredible company. They know him. He's in relationship with them, great relationship with them, and they see an opportunity. They go, Curtis, ding, 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 big opportunity over here. That's just one way that manifests itself. Okay? So getting connected, this is the proximity principle that I teach. In order to do what you want to do, be around people that are doing it. Get in places where that work's happening. Guess what happens? Opportunity knocks on your door. If you watched yesterday's show, I knocked on the desk, scared Madison half to death. This opportunity comes to you. All right. Now you're ready to get started. Here's the opportunity. Now, we got a call earlier today on this idea, right? Opportunity. And we go, should I take it? This is where people get really, really, really scared. Really, really, really full of doubt. And they face pride. What are other people going to say? So understand those are the 3 enemies of getting started. See, the opportunity's there. You've done the work. The opportunity's here. And now it's the chance to say, yep, I'm going to take this journey. I'm going to step in. And it's natural. I don't want to make you feel guilty about feeling fear and doubt and pride. I just want you to know they're coming. And fear and doubt and pride, they just rise up in the moments of opportunity. Because change is uncomfortable. Even if it's a good change, the reason that most people don't get started is because of fear, doubt, and pride. Now, let me just say this. There are a lot of you out there who don't naturally struggle with this when it's a great opportunity because you go, oh, I'm so excited, I can't wait. Now, I was that guy, Joe, I'll never forget. You're in Gainesville, Georgia. Now, let me tell you my get started story where actually it was a little bit like, whoa, Joe remembers. I'm here at Ramsey Solutions for 3 years. I've got a deep, deep vision for everything we're doing now. But I had to pay my dues, and I was in a different role, more of a true MC role and host role. And met with Dave and the board, and over a series of months, everybody got comfortable that, yep, we want Ken to be a Ramsey personality and give him the opportunity to step into this space of purpose and career and help people and reignite, bring the Ken Coleman Show back. Joe, my only producer I've ever had, is back in Gainesville at WDUN. And we stay in touch. And the goal is, I'm trying to get you here, dude. I feel like an opportunity's coming. So we have the big meetings. Board says yes. Dave says yes. We're all excited. And about 2 months later, I'm down in Orlando, Florida, hosting the Entree Leadership Summit, our signature leadership event. I'm still filling that role. There's some transition that's going to have to happen. I get a phone call from Jeremy Breland, my leader. He says, Coleman, you sitting down? I go, yeah, I can be. So I sat down. I was at the hotel. Walked outside, sat on a bench out in front of the hotel. He says, now this could happen, and it may not happen. So don't get too crazy excited. It's not in stone, but it's moving that direction. He says, we're about ready to do a Sirius XM channel. It's going to be the Ramsey channel. All the personalities will be on it. And you're going to have an opportunity for a live radio show, what you've always dreamed of, leading into Dave. What do you think? And I was like, whoa, half excited, half, oh boy, am I ready? Because I'd not done the caller-driven counseling on the air before. I felt very confident if I'm just hosting a show, I can do that in my sleep. Well, long story, very short, it happened. And I remember there was a moment where it was like, this is happening. And in my mind, it was like, if I'm not comfortable doing this, I should speak up here. And I remember calling Joe, and Joe's like, I'm in, tell me when to be there. I'll pack the car and I'll be there before nightfall, right? It was that we were both like, yes, we need to do this. And I remember, Joe, you had a little bit of like, this is big time. This is what we talked about. We're going national, baby. And there's a lot of pressure on this. And I remember feeling really, really scared and having some doubt. Can I actually do this? I know I want to do it, but can I do it? And it is in those moments at the starting line where you start to get, and fear and doubt start to just pummel you. And my pride, I don't want to be bad. Joe, what will people think of me if I'm not ready for this? That's pride. Okay, so I had to look at it and go, wait a second. And I retreat back to stage one, get clear. Is this something that I'm good at doing? Is this something that I love to do? Is this something that is missional to me? The results of this show, will it make my heart sing? Is it me filling my unique role? And the answer was unequivocally yes. And when you do that, and you're at the starting line and you're facing fear, doubt, and pride, if you go back, and I'm going to retreat back to get clear real quick, get myself back centered, and I'm clear. Now I have the confidence and the courage to step into that unknown, even though I know I want to do it, but I'm not 100% sure how it's going to play out. And it's a big change, and it's a whole lot of things, right, that I'm going to have to prove myself. But you step in and you do it anyway. See, the start is not always the moment where everybody's there throwing roses at you. I mean, it's terrifying. But you must start. And understand that when you start, it's just the beginning. The first radio shows we did in this new format, the worst we've ever done. I've told Joe to bury them in the vault and don't let anybody hear them. Why? Because I'm better now at helping you people than I was then. Right, Joe? Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Thank you, Joe. The reality is, though, is that I had to start. There is no finish without the start. Duh. Yeah, but this is why most people don't do anything. They're scared to death, and they get scared and they go, whoa, I'm not ready to step on the field. I really like it up here in the bleachers. And so they go to the bleachers. Don't be one of those people who reach the end of their life and they're absolutely soaking in regret. Because when they had the opportunity to start, they let fear and doubt and pride crush them. And it was because that's all they focused on, is the unknown. If I start this, I'm not 100% sure how it's going to go. That's the wrong focus. Focus on, is this the thing that I know I'm supposed to do? I know it's not going to be great. I know it's going to be some unknowns out of the gate. But if I start, I got a chance to stay. And then I got a chance to succeed. It's about the start. The first step is always the most important step. So those of you that are facing an opportunity to start and it's scary, and as a result of the fear, you've got all kinds of doubt, maybe there's some pride that's trying to pull you back. You're trying to inch to the line and it's just holding you back. Don't go, don't go. Focus on the future. And when you do that, you will have the gumption, the courage to take the first step. All right. We got it all in there. It's the most important stage. Got to start, or there is no completion. My time is almost up. But before I let you go, you matter, and you do have what it takes. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.